And this is what we've been waiting for, fans, for the first time here tonight. Here's your countdown. Arena announcer Mark Elliott counting them down. Green flag is out. They'll come off the line. See the mud flying already. Nice shot there. 29-11 of Richie Price. A lot of smoke around that. We'll keep the left side of the field. 05A. Nick Wright, center of the action. Not be very wide, but it is long, and they can get up a good run from one end to the other. Red flag on the track. Trying to get everybody held up. Chambliss Welding red flag on the track. Back to green. Talking about possibly pulling a Mad Dog here. I heard the name Richie Price. Richie Price right in the center of the action there in the 29-11. Another red flag. Trying to get everybody held up. GHgraphics.net, red flag on the track. $29.11 of Richie Price being pulled for Mad Dog from this heat. Getting pulled early. He'll make his way off the track. Tire was locked up on that thing as he tried to turn around. There's lots of mud on it. That's one way to make your way into the feature event. back underway. The Postal Mopar Industries heat number 1. Richie Price getting pulled for Mad Dog there from that heat. I want to say hello and welcome to all of you joining us on Facebook, and thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm for providing the live look-in on Facebook, giving you a taste of the action at the Tim Tiger Memorial Turkey Derby right here in Portland, Indiana. Plenty of action still to come here tonight. 2 more heats of limited weld cars, as well as a youth feature, a gut and go feature, an 80s wire feature, limited weld consolation tonight. Tomorrow we've got mini cars, limited weld trucks, limited weld feature, and the Turkey Derby kicker class. All still to come. So get yourself a multi-pass on DerbyNation.tv. You can see all the action live. Good shot there from the 11A coming in on the backside. The 11A, of course, talked to him earlier today, Jonathan Albright. Jonathan out of Clifton, Illinois. Christopher Brown on the 25 right here, the green machine. A lot of steam coming out of that machine, trying to keep it going. Albright changing things up, moving to the other corner of the track now. Going to work out of that corner for a little bit. Brandon Wilkinson in the 12 there, the orange top, number 12 machine. Looks like he might be having a little trouble there in the 12. Started to roll forward, then had some issues. Looks like he was getting it to go backwards there just before we changed camera angle. Paul Petro in the 411 machine. Right in the center of the arena there. Center of the screen anyway. Here's Rick Clark in the 108. Action split between both sides of the track at this point. The track is long and a little bit narrow, so some individual battles happening on different ends. 207 and Nick Nugent being involved in the action. The 407 right there is Adam Edwards, the black with the 407 on the sides. Adam Edwards out of Custer, Michigan. There's a good shot from the 05A and Nick Wright. The back side of the screen there. Nick coming in with the blue and orange machine. Rick Clark making a good shot on the rear wheel there of his competitor. Sparks flying from the rim as he made contact. Those of you joining us on Facebook, this is a live look-in brought to you by Jeffy's Fab Farm. Jeffy'sFabFarm.com providing a live look-in here to give you a taste of the action here at the Turkey Derby here in Portland, Indiana. It's a 2-day event today and tomorrow. Plenty of action still to come. This is just heat number 1 of several. Make sure you're checking out DerbyNation.tv. Picking up the ticket, watch the whole weekend. 207 making a shot on Rick Clark in the 108. And Rick Clark hung up now, trying to get separated. And everybody's broke apart. A lot of the battle has moved to the other end of the track now. Brandon Wilkinson got his car to refire, made it move, changed ends of the track, trying to keep himself busy. 407 Adam Edwards still in the mix. 207 Nick Nugent using the backside of that thing, trying to work on Rick Clark there in the 108. Becoming a muddy mess out there as these cars maneuver around. 05A of Nick Wright trying to get himself unstuck there. Got a little help from 411. Paul Petro using the front side of his car. A lot of steam now out of Paul Petro's machine. All right, fans, we're here in studio, and joining me in the studio right now, Richie Price. Richie, I'll hit your button for you. We'll get you involved here. Congratulations on getting pulled out of that heat there for Mad Dog Performance.
Thank you. Thank you. That was the whole goal when I left this morning for coming up here.
Pull that mic close to you there.
All right,
there
so that's rookie at this.
That's all right. You certainly put a good show on there in the short amount of time you were out there.
Well, I try. Most of the time, I don't ever head out to a derby to win it. I mainly shoot for Mad Dog and making sure the guys in the stands get their money's worth.
Okay. Well, I thought you did a pretty good job of it.
I appreciate it.
You got a lot of nose left for the feature anyway.
We'll see. I just parked here at the trailer and come up here to kind of watch the rest of the heat and see what's going on.
What do you think of our view?
That's a nice view. It's a lot warmer in here than it is outside.
Anybody at home this weekend kind of cheering you on from home, or you got sponsors to take care of everything?
Yeah, the wife especially, to put up with this hobby that we all have. And it's an addiction almost,
Oh, absolutely.
Woody Woodhouse on building a car for me earlier this year. Got a bunch of buddies, and Will and Aaron and Jeremy. My boy Brock, 14-year-old kid, plugs away on these cars. Wouldn't be possible without his help. Shout out to you guys and obviously Jason and them for putting on this show.
We appreciate that.
So,
is Brock running anything yet? Is he running youth class or anything?
He's not. I'm one of them stubborn parents that told him he's got to wait till he's 16.
Okay. I mean, that's what I did. I was 15, but they didn't have youth class when I got started.
Right,
so.
right.
How's he feel about that?
He understands why. It's a situation where you got a young kid that's not necessarily always familiar. Something happens in the car, throttle sticks.
Right.
End up in the driver's door. I don't want to be the reason he's in that spot.
Right. So, got to be safe.
So make him hold off and be a little bit more conscious about things and be able to take care of situations.
And that's going to make him more of a weapon when the time comes when he gets out there, because he'll be more prepared.
Well, hopefully he has a little bit better head about him and he can go a little further. I don't always end up at the end, but I sure have a good time trying to get there.
Yes, sir. So taking a look at the track here, we're kind of seeing stuff wind down a little bit here. Guys are starting to kind of go away, getting some more attrition. Anybody stand out to you while you were out there? Anybody get you with a good shot or anything?
The green and white number 25.
Yeah.
The nose of that car was stout.
It's starting to go away now, but we saw him make some good shots there. That was Christopher Brown. Christopher Brown's out of Crown Point, Indiana.
Yeah, he was letting her eat.
He's paying the price for it a little bit now, starting to go up in smoke a little bit.
I think I had one pretty close to head on with him, and at that point I decided I wasn't going to do that again.
You made a really good shot just before the first red flag, where you came down pretty much the whole length of that track on the grandstand side of the arena, and you went nose to nose with somebody there. It was a pretty good shot you made.
Yeah, I didn't bring spare parts with me. I told myself when I left this morning I was going to junk the car and go home.
Oh, no.
And now I got to figure out another plan. So
Well, you got somewhere to stay tonight?
home's only 2 hours away.
Okay.
We'll figure something out.
That's not so bad.
But we'll figure it out. We'll go back, take a look at the car, see what we can do. Unfortunately, I brought an enclosed trailer this weekend, so I don't have the ability to pull it down and do some stuff to it here. So
Well, there's lots of people here, and the Derby community
maybe
is.
I made some fans. I get a friend out
There you
there
go.
that might help me out.
Well, hey, put the word out there, fans. If you got anybody that's here at the track that you know is running, they got an open trailer, maybe they could help pull stuff down for Richie here. Get him in touch. Get him on Facebook, and you got on Facebook. Everybody is these days, right?
Yep.
So find him on Facebook and see if you can find him here at the track. Send him over to the studio even. We'll try to help him out. We'll put the Derby world together.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody is usually really, really good at helping out. It's one of the sports that still has the sanctity to it with that.
Yeah.
Guy next to you needs something, man, give it to him. Whatever it takes. It's kind of a big family. So.
Absolutely. I'm very fortunate that we get to travel to a lot of these shows. So that's one thing that's a common factor in all the different shows we go to is everybody's really there for each other.
Yeah, I know a few years back I gave somebody an entire steering setup. Him and his buddies ganged up on me a little bit, not too bad. And he says, "You'd really give me that whole thing?" I said, "Well, absolutely. I don't want your steering to be the reason why I beat you."
Right.
So I threw it back on him a little bit, but
There you go. A little bit of kill him with kindness kind of thing.
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Adam Edwards right there in the 407. He's been keeping himself busy throughout the course of this heat. Not being super aggressive, but definitely doing damage out there when he has to. And the front of his car has been holding up really well.
I think I put a decent shot on the back of that one at one point. I come through there and was kind of pinballing a little bit.
Yeah. Taking a look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe 7. Looks like the 25 is facing away from us there at the back
Looks like
side of the
stick's
screen.
still up.
They got him on the clock. He's trying to get refired. The 05A right there is the orange and blue machine. That's Nick Wright. His driver's front wheel's laid over. He's having a hard time getting moving in this mud.
I tell you, for as muddy as it is out there, I felt like I got some decent speed going. I don't know. It always feels faster and harder in the car than when you watch it back. But
Oh, yeah, the video never does it justice.
I know my elbow hurts right now from something.
Bouncing around that cockpit a little bit. You can start to see some ruts getting formed here now, but in general, the track's still pretty hard. It's slippery, but
The middle of the track is pretty solid. It seems to be a little softer on the top side here towards the pit side. Middle of the track's pretty good, and it's fairly solid. I got it down a little bit on the bottom side there towards the grandstands, but with the slope in the track, I didn't want to be stuck down there, so I tried to stay away a little bit.
how important is that? Did you come out and look at this track before you went out and ran it, like your driver's meeting or anything?
Well, when we got here earlier today, I kind of walked out and glanced at the track a little bit. I know the area, and I know Jason does a great job with his track crew and stuff with getting stuff firmed up in a solid track as good as he can give you. This one, it's soupy on top. For me, looking at that track, key is wheel speed, keep your tires cleaned out.
Yeah. So I saw some guys in the inspection line even having trouble getting up to inspection because they just had the wrong tire choices.
Yes. The wider flat skidder tires that they came out with, them solid ones, I've seen a couple of cars really struggling to move back there. So hopefully they brought something else to use.
Or they visited the vendors here and found something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vendors Hall was pretty cool. Nice setup in there. Hats off to them guys, all the work that they put into the sport. selling product and stuff. There's great products all the time from everybody. It's a good deal.
Richie, have you run Turkey Derby before? I don't
This is the 3rd year in a row.
3rd year, yeah.
Yep. Usually end up with a leftover county fair car that's not quite enough to be in the limited weld.
Yeah.
But we go up and give it a shot. Last year, my boy put a lot of time in that car, and he says, Dad, we ran it Georgetown, Illinois at a fair show, I believe it was. Got it tore up pretty good. We fixed the car up, and he says, Dad, do me a favor. He says, wait till you're in like the top 10 or the top 5 to turn it loose. And so the whole time out there, I get a couple of hard shots on me, and I turn around quick and just want to go, and I can hear the boy's voice. Take it easy. So we got down inside the top 10, and I started to let it go and ended up hooking my bumper behind one of the guys' front tires, drove it to 7th place.
Wow.
Pretty solid run for as many cars and the quality of drivers and cars that was up there last year.
We've seen a lot of guys come that are repeat drivers to this show, but also a lot of new drivers this year especially. If there's people that are at home watching that are thinking about coming out next year or they're thinking about a Coke Racing Promotion show, what would you tell them if they were talking to you?
Do your research on what class you want to run, because the limited weld and mod cars, they're decent build. Depending on where you're at and your entry, as far as the level of your driving and comfort, the gut and go is always a good thing to start with.
Yeah.
Inexpensive build, not a lot of time, but probably dollar for dollar is the best fun you can have.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So I would say gut and go is a good starting place, obviously. But if you got some time and you're coming out, I like the limited weld class.
The thing about this limited weld, I've talked about it a lot already today, is that there's so much diversity in the build because it's kind of like a cleanup show. So some guys bring cars that are really heavy that they've had to cut a lot on.
Yes.
And then other guys have stuff that's just built like right to the bottom of the rule or whatever.
Yes.
So you have some that are sort of like a light build car versus some really heavy stuff that's been cut apart.
Right. And I think there's some of that every year that I've been.
Yeah.
I think what happens though throughout the heat, if you watch, the guys that that are on the top end of that build, they kind of stick with running against each other.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily, I don't want to say pick on, but
Sure.
guys that are on the other side of the build a little bit, you're not picked on, you're not singled out, you know. So I think that the drivers have the respect for each other and being out there for that.
Well, that's good.
So, because I know I was on the bottom end of that the last 2 years I went, and like I say, a county fair car, real mild build, throw some plates on it, try to compete.
Yeah.
Last year was a test to me to see if I could drive sensible.
Sure.
And I had a few people tell me afterwards, if I wouldn't have seen you get in the car, I wouldn't have believed it was you. Because this tonight is normal performance.
Well, that's fun.
So, like I said, at the end of the show, little kids come up, hey, can I have your stick? Can I have it? That's what it means to me
I love that.
to come out and do this every year.
Yeah.
I've been derbying since 1991. I've won 3 shows.
Wow.
So I don't do it to win. I do it to, for the people and the time with my boy, but, for the fans.
Sounds like the right reasons to me.
Absolutely.
Man, I appreciate you, Richie. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give a little shout out to our friends that are watching on Facebook right now. We're live on Facebook thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm. They're providing a live look in here of the Tim Tiger Memorial Turkey Derby here live from Portland, Indiana. If you like what you're seeing on Facebook, fans, make sure you're tuning in on DerbyNation.tv throughout the weekend. We got lots more action still to come tonight, as well as tons of stuff tomorrow. You can pick up the multi-pass ticket on DerbyNation.tv and watch all the action live. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 guys still rolling around out there.
I want to give a shout out to Jeffy too. I got some parts on the car from him.
Yep.
Jeffy's a great guy. He and I joke back and forth about who's the hardest working guy, him or me, because I'm a business owner myself, and it's just me at my shop. So we got a water jet, we got CNC machines, and he and I have a lot of conversations at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, are you still working? I'm still working.
That's awesome. We saw the 25 finally kind of give up the ghost there and broke off. The 25, we talked about him earlier, was Christopher Brown in that green and white machine. He reached out and broke off. That left us with 4, and those 4 cars are going to move forward to the feature tomorrow. They'll be joining you out there. And looks like you got the 407 of Adam Edwards. Looked like the 108 of Rick Clark I saw.
Petro probably.
Petro and Nugent. Nick Nugent, the 207. I'll tell you, Paul Petro knows how to build a hard car.
Yes.
And he can drive.
Yes, he can. The first time I ran with Paul Petro or in the same heat as him was the 2009 Bash for Cash.
Yeah.
Bell Fountain, Ohio.
It's been a little while.
One.
Boy.
Yeah, that's that was an eye-opening experience for me. So I took a car I thought was decent until I got there and seen the competition, and ended up having a decent night. Top 4 cars that won the show, the top 4 places came out of our heat. When I broke my stick, then they took the feature car. So I gave them a good run with what I had.
That's a good feeling and a bad feeling all at once.
Yeah. Well,
so close.
Back then, the announcer, he announced my name quite a bit, and that made me feel good, so it was worth the trip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's cool, man. Well, you want to hang out some more, or you want to take off?
I'm going to jump off of here, go back and kind of take a look at the car and see what we got to work with. I appreciate you guys letting me sit in here.
Yeah, Richie, we appreciate you, man. And the fans of Derby Nation, they love watching a driver like you, so we appreciate you putting a show on, and you earned that Mad Dog. So
excellent.
Thanks for coming to sit with us.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good one.
Appreciate it, man. Richie Price checking in with us here, and we'll let him go, and we'll show you some of the track cleanup here. Those of you that have joined us on Facebook, we hope you like what you saw. Thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm, jeffysfabfarm.com, giving you the live look in. And as I said, plenty more action still to come this evening as well as tomorrow. Tonight, 2 more limited weld heats, as well as the youth division, the gut and go division, the 80s wire feature, and the limited weld consolation tonight. And lots of stuff tomorrow starting at noon. So make sure you're tuning in at DerbyNation.tv. Get your multi-pass ticket, and we'll see you on Derby Nation. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. We're going to close it out from here, and we'll be live on Derby Nation for the rest of the night. They've got about 6 or 7 skid steers on staff here tonight, so it shouldn't take too long to get this track cleared off.